Have you ever been scrolling through your phone, maybe just relaxing, checking your feed, when suddenly a picture pops up and you find yourself stopping for a second, staring at it, and thinking, wait a minute, is that really them? You know that feeling, right? That little shock when someone looks so different that for a moment your brain just can't process it. It happens with people we know, like an old friend we bump into after years, but it also happens with celebrities. And sometimes those moments really stop us in our tracks. That's exactly what just happened with Donatella Versace. Yes, the Donatella Versace. The woman who has been at the very top of the fashion world for decades. The face, the energy, the power behind one of the most iconic brands in the world. At 70 years old, she's shared a new sunset photo that has everyone talking. And when I say everyone, I mean it. The reactions are pouring in because in this new photo, Donatella looks so different, some people almost didn't even recognize her. Now, here's the thing. This is more than just a picture. It's more than just people on social media leaving comments. There's something deeper about why we react the way we do when we see a transformation like this, especially from someone we feel like we've known for so long. And that's what I want to explore with you today. Because this moment says something not just about Donatella, but about all of us, about the way we see ourselves, and about the way we see others. So stick around, because by the end of this, you might just look at photos, and even your own selfies, a little differently. So let's paint the scene. Donatella Versace. Fashion icon. Creative director. A woman whose name is instantly recognized all over the world. She's not just part of Versace, she is Versace. For years, we've seen her on red carpets, at fashion shows, in glossy magazines, always with that signature look. You know what I mean. The platinum blonde hair. The glamorous, bold style. That fierce energy that feels larger than life. She's always been one of those people you spot instantly. But this time? Things felt different. She shared a picture during golden hour. You know golden hour, right? That magical time right before the sun sets when everything looks softer, warmer, and just beautiful. It's that light that makes your skin glow, smooths out lines, and gives everything a kind of dreamy vibe. And Donatella, standing there in that glow, looked refreshed. She looked radiant. And she looked so different that some fans were genuinely stunned. The comments came in fast. Some people couldn't believe how youthful she looked. Others admitted they had to do a double take because she looked almost unrecognizable. And this raises such an interesting question: why do we react like this? Why does seeing someone look a little different, even in just one photo, surprise us so much? I think part of it is because we get used to seeing people a certain way. Especially with celebrities, we see them in magazines, interviews, shows, over and over again. Our brains store this image of them. It's almost like freezing them in time. And then, when they show up looking different, maybe softer, maybe younger, maybe just captured in different light, it feels strange. Like our brains can't quite reconcile the person we thought we knew with the person in front of us now. And you know what? We've all had this happen in real life. Think about the last time you bumped into an old classmate or a coworker you hadn't seen in years. Maybe they grew out a beard, or changed their hairstyle, or lost weight, or maybe just aged a little. And for a second, you didn't even realize who they were until you heard their voice or they said your name. That little shock of recognition? That's exactly what's happening here with Donatella's photo. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. Most of us don't think too deeply about how a single picture can change perception. But in the world of fashion and beauty, every detail matters. Lighting, angles, filters, even the time of day, it all adds up. And the truth is, the golden hour is magic. Photographers love it. Makeup artists love it. Honestly, anyone who has ever taken a selfie in that warm glow knows how good it makes you look. It's like nature's filter. And Donatella? She's no stranger to how powerful imagery can be. She's lived her entire life in the world of fashion and photography. She knows better than anyone that one good photo can make waves. And that's exactly what happened here. It wasn't just that she looked different, it was that she looked different in the perfect light, in the perfect setting, and it sparked curiosity. Here's something interesting too. Experts in fashion and beauty often remind us that what we see in a photo isn't always the whole story. A lot of times, we're looking at a moment that has been carefully crafted. Maybe it's makeup. Maybe it's the way someone's face is angled. Maybe there's a touch of retouching. And when you add in that golden hour light, it creates an almost cinematic version of reality. It's not fake, it's just a version of reality that feels polished. And here's the best part, this isn't just something reserved for celebrities. We can all use this little secret in our everyday lives. You don't need an expensive camera. You don't need professional makeup. If you want to look your best in photos, just step outside during that golden hour. Let the sun do the work for you. It's free, it's natural, and honestly, the results will surprise you. But let's circle back to Donatella for a second. Because part of the reason this picture made such an impact is not just the way she looked, but what it represented. At 70 years old, Donatella has spent decades in the spotlight. People have formed all kinds of opinions about her over the years. Some admire her boldness. Others criticize her look. But here she is, still commanding attention, still making people talk, still shaping the conversation. And that's kind of inspiring, isn't it? Think about it, how many people at 70 are still making headlines, still relevant, still surprising us? Donatella has always lived unapologetically, and this photo is just another example of that. Whether people recognized her right away or not, the fact is, she's still making an impact. And that's something we can all take a lesson from. Now, let me share a little tip that you might not expect. If you've ever felt insecure about how you look in photos, remember this, what you're seeing online is rarely the full picture. Celebrities have teams, they have stylists, they have photographers. They know how to use light and angles to their advantage. But you don't need all of that to feel good about yourself. Sometimes, it's as simple as finding the right light, wearing something that makes you feel confident, and capturing a moment where you're genuinely happy. That's what shines through in photos. So when we see Donatella's photo and think, wow, she looks different, it's not necessarily about her changing. It's about the way the photo captured her. And that's a reminder for all of us not to be too hard on ourselves when we compare our own pictures to what we see online. Which brings me to something I want to ask you. When you first heard about Donatella's new sunset photo, what was your gut reaction? Did you instantly think she looked amazing, or did you find yourself surprised, maybe even shocked, at how different she looked? I'd really love to know, because these reactions say as much about us as they do about the person in the photo. And while you're thinking about that, here's something else. We live in a world where everything is about perception. A single picture can change how we feel about someone. A single image can go viral, spark conversation, even shift a person's reputation. Donatella's photo is just one example, but it's a reminder of how powerful visuals are in our lives. So, here's what I'd encourage you to do next time you see a picture that shocks you or makes you do a double take. Pause for a second. Think about the story behind that image. Think about the lighting, the timing, the effort that might have gone into capturing that moment. And then think about how that applies to your own life. Because honestly, we all have those golden hour moments, those times when the light hits us just right, when we feel good, when we look our best. And those are the moments worth capturing. At the end of the day, Donatella Versace's photo is more than just a sunset snapshot. It's a reminder that beauty comes in many forms. It's a reminder that age doesn't define relevance. And it's a reminder that sometimes, all it takes is the right light to see someone in a whole new way. So tell me, When was the last time you saw a picture, whether of a celebrity or even a friend, that made you stop and say, "Wow, I almost didn't recognize them"? Share that with me in the comments, because I'd love to hear your stories. And if you've enjoyed diving into this little pop culture moment with me, then you're going to love the other videos I've got waiting for you. There's always another story, another surprise, another conversation just around the corner. Before you go, if this gave you something to think about, hit that like button. It helps out more than you know. And if you want to keep joining me for these kinds of conversations, don't forget to subscribe and stick around. Because trust me, there's so much more we can unpack together. And who knows? Maybe the next photo that makes the world stop and stare will be just around the corner.